finish up section 1 here of chapter 1 by working a little further what we left off the last video, talking about the intercepts, x and y intercepts. Now I had a graph before and I pointed out the x and the y intercepts. To find the x and the y intercepts, you don't have to graph the equation. You can just follow these two simple rules. To find the x-intercept, or intercepts of the graph, if you have two variables, plug 0 in for y, solve for x. Now of course that might mean you're solving a linear, you might be solving a quadratic, things that we reviewed in the prerequisite chapter. To find the y-intercepts of a graph of an equation in two variables, you just kind of reverse it. You plug 0 in for x and you solve for y. And I have an example here. Looks a little bit like the equation that we were working with there at the end of the last video, but it's a little different. Y equals x squared minus 4. I want to find the x-intercepts and I want to find the y-intercepts. To find the x-intercepts, like I said before, plug 0 in for y. So y equals x squared minus 4. Plug a 0 in here. Solve this equation. You can do it by factoring. Difference of squares. Set each factor equal to 0, the zero product property. Add 2. X is equal to 2, subtract 2. X is equal to negative 2. Now, some textbooks say that your x-intercepts are 2 and negative 2, and I disagree when I have a textbook that does that. This particular textbook that you're using does not. The intercepts are points, and where your graph crosses the x-axis or the y-axis, in this case the x-axis, and so they must be written, and for my class at least, they must be written as ordered pairs. So if I plug 0 in for y and this is x, then I have an x-intercept 2, 0, and I have an x-intercept of negative 2, 0. Write them as ordered pairs. Now to find the y-intercepts, I just reverse this. I'm going to plug 0 in for x, I'm going to solve for y. This goes even faster. So here we go again. There's the equation. This time I'm plugging a 0 in for x, and I get negative 4. So again, I'm going to write my answer for my intercept here as an ordered pair. I plug 0 in for x and my y value is negative 4, so I have 0, negative 4, and that is my y-intercept. These are my x-intercepts, this is my y-intercept. Most times you have at best one y-intercept, but there are examples of graphs where you might not have an x-intercept or a y-intercept either, and I have some drawn out here. This is a parabola that opens downward. It has a y-intercept at this point. Notice there's no scale because I don't have an equation to go with it. But this has a y-intercept. As you can see, it does not cross the x-axis. It does not have x-intercepts. Whereas here, this one has an x-intercept. But I tried to draw this so that the y-axis serves as an asymptote there, and it does not cross the y-axis, so it doesn't have a y-intercept. And of course, this circle sitting out here in this third example out in quadrant 2 doesn't cross the x, nor does it cross the y-axis, so this one doesn't have any intercepts. So be sure, as you're working the assignment that goes with this section, to do the practice problems, so enough of those in each one of the types of problems, so that you'll feel comfortable being ready to turn in the assignment of the even numbered problems that I have. And remember, practice, practice, practice.